All right, guys and ladies, what we are going to do today is we are going to work on some leaf texture rubbings. But before we can do that, we really need to kind of talk about the leaf and see how it is that, this texture can even happen on our paper. So if you look kind of closely, and I think it's going to be better if I just zoom in on it. Leaves have something in common with people, and that's the fact that if you can look at those little lines right there on the leaf, what those are called veins. And just like people, if you look at my wrist, you can see I have veins, you have veins, you can see it through your skin. And that the veins in people, that's how the blood circulates through our body. Well, the little veins on these leaves, that is how the water gets to the leaves, okay? And right now, in the fall, the autumn, what's happening with our leaves is they're starting to drop. And that's because the tree, instead of pushing the water out to the leaves through these little veins to keep the leaves green, the trees are starting to pull the water back in so they can save that water over the winter, and then in the spring they can make new leaves again. So by pulling the water back out of the leaves and into the tree itself, that's why our leaves start to turn colors. They start to turn yellow and orange and sometimes red and other colors like that. So that's why our leaves turn colors. But what we're going to do with these leaves is we're going to learn about the texture. So when you look at the leaves, you can see that there's little bumps that you can feel. If you very carefully run your finger across the back of a leaf, you can feel those little bumps. And it's just kind of like, the little bumps in your wrist, those little veins, you can feel those little bumps, just like the little bumps on the leaves here. So, if we want to copy these leaves, there's one easy way to do that. And that is to do a leaf rubbing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scooch these guys for a second. I'm going to move my black paper so you can see what I'm doing. Scoot my white paper over here for you. So when I do leaf rubbings with real leaves, I like to do the leaf rubbing on the back of the leaf, because the front of the leaf, it's a lot smoother than the back. And so if I try to do a rubbing of this leaf, if I slide that under my paper with the front side facing up, I'm not going to get all those nice little bumps and textures that I would have gotten if I turned my leaf upside down and laid it down on my surface, which happens to be my desk at the moment. So I'm going to take this little leaf right here, and I am going to lay it down, so I'm looking at the back side, okay? And then I'm going to just slip that leaf under my paper, just like that, okay? And then you're going to need some old crayons that you can peel the paper off of. And I have chosen some fall colors because I kind of want this to be a fall kind of leaf rubbing. So when doing a rubbing of any kind, whether it's leaves or anything else, you don't want to hold your crayon like a pencil and then scrub over the top of it, okay? Because that's not going to show all of the detail that you could get by just rubbing across the top of it. So, I could hold it like a pencil and then rub across the top, but it's still going to look streaky. So I'm going to lay my crayon down, and then I'm just going to pinch it with my fingers, okay? I'm going to pinch it with my fingers, and then with this hand, I'm going to hold my paper really still. And I'm just going to push back and forth across that leaf until I can see some of the shape. And there it is. Okay? And then if I wanted to, I can scoot this over away from my other one and just kind of feel underneath there for where it is and take a new color. Lay my crayon down. I'm going to pinch that crayon and I'm just going to rub across the top of that. And by doing those rubbings, you can see how the leaf and the veins start to show up. And I need to zoom out so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So let me do that. There we go. So there's that one, second rubbing there. I'm going to switch leaves because this one's kind of getting a little flat. So you might need a few extra leaves when you start to do your leaf rubbings like I'm doing here. So, and I like to just snip off the stem because it's kind of bumpy under the paper and I only want the leaf shape. I don't need the stem. So I'm going to lay it down with the back side facing up, and then I'm going to lay my paper over the top. Now I am using like paper from my sketchbook. I'm not using copy paper for this because I'm also going to want to be able to paint over these leaves when I'm finished. And if I use copy paper for that, it's not going to hold the paint as well as like my sketchbook paper will. I mean, it'll work. I'm not saying it won't work. Don't do it. If that's all you have, then by all means use your copy paper, your printer paper, or whatever to do these leaf rubbings. Because I would rather you have the experience than not do it at all. So there we go. And I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to fill up my paper with some different colors of the leaf rubbing. Until I get my page filled. Okay? So once I get my leaf rubbings completed, like I said, we're going to paint over this. So for now, I think I'm going to stop here and I'm going to let you guys finish your leaf rubbings. And then when I get mine finished, I will come back and we'll talk about how to paint these guys in the next video. So I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I hope you find lots of really cool leaves to do rubbings of. And just remember to flip that leaf upside down so you can see the veins when you lay your paper over the top. So all those little textures will show up. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.